Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I am your co-host, I should say, Andrew Eister, with my other co-host, Joe Softly. We are super excited to do this little vlog, podcast, whatever you want to call it. We're fine with whatever you guys want to call it as well. We're excited to just talk about football, to talk about Picks League, to talk about the people that our lovely commissioner, Jordan, has brought together to have a fun little group. So, Joe, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Andrew Eister, my dear friend, thank you for welcoming me. Yeah, we are definitely co-hosts. This is a very 50-50 thing, not 51-49. So if this is really boring for you and you're angry and you want to complain, you have to complain to both of us. You can't just message me and complain to me. I won't talk back to you. It's got to be both.
And he takes his complaints very seriously.
I do. So. Yes. Customer service is something that we pride ourselves in.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, it's great to be here. Andrew and I have always wanted to do a podcast together. I think we were going to do one on all the different flavors of M&Ms. And then we decided that would just be probably a terrible idea. Did you know there's actually a white pumpkin pie, a white chocolate pumpkin pie M&M? Did you know that?
No, because no one buys it and no one eats it. That's
crazy. Right. I think there's also like a Mexican jalapeno.
You're just making this up.
No, I'm pretty sure that you could. The two people that listen to this, one of them is going to fact check me. They'll probably both fact check me, and it'll be a split
on the Mexican jalapeno M&M.
Right. Yeah, right. You came here to talk football. We're talking M&Ms.
That's all right. For those of you who are interested, this idea I think was birthed in like right at the beginning of COVID. It was like February 2020, and we're like, oh, let's do this podcast. Right. It's going to be great. It's going to be all about picks, and it's just like something to just talk football. And then, boom, we weren't sure if football was going to happen. Jordan wasn't sure if Picks League should happen. So we've been sitting on this idea for about a year and a half, and we're like, let's just go for it.
I'm about to explode. Been sitting on it for so long.
I know, but So, of course, my name is Andrew Eister, and you can recognize that last name. I am Jordan's brother. I've been in the league for about, I think this is about 6 years. And I think you came in maybe just a year after me, I think, something like that.
This will be my 4th year. I was absolutely hot garbage my first 2 years. You may remember me in the semifinals back in 2019, where I believe I chose the Green Bay Packers. They lost to the San Francisco 49ers, and I was defeated in the semifinals. Yeah.
And then Storm, congratulations to Storm, went on to win with the Chiefs that year. And that was our latest champion. That is our latest champion is Storm because, of course, 2020 kind of killed Picks League. So we're excited to have it back for sure. This podcast, honestly, is just to talk about picks, to talk about football, and like we said, to talk about the people. We want to get to know other people in the league. I mean, Facebook is good and is often good enough, but I think it'd be really fun to get to know the people. So we are going to do some interviews. Do you want to talk about just some of the things we're going to talk about with people?
I'll definitely talk about that, and also say real quick that part of the meaningful nature of this for me is not just the fun banter. Not just throwing voices around, but like on a deeper note, like one thing that I've reflected on is how story brings us all together. And like Picks League is its own little story, right? Mm-hmm. For those who are joining for the first time, for those who've been doing it for years, like Jordan, it's a little bit of a story for each of us. So that's what this podcast is. It's just to create more of a story, more of a legend in this league. And definitely, like Andrew said, for everyone to get to know each other a little deeper, starting with our special guest tonight, Jordan Eister. We will be interviewing Jordan with some very hard-hitting questions. You will not want to miss this.
And going back to your story, there's definitely some people that Jordan has lined up for us that has good stories, has funny stories, some personalities that we can't wait to meet. I just know that they're going to be worth the listen and worth getting to know. So,
and if you'd like to join Andrew and I on this, what do we call it, Pickscast on PicksCast.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
If you'd like to join us on PicksCast, just shoot both of us a message because it's 50-50. This segment comes with a warning. You should not necessarily take our advice because we're competitors. Disclaimer. Yeah, this advice may be poison. It also may be the best advice you've received.
Well, you and I are in the same division. So,
right. So we hate each other. We don't like each other.
So if you are not in our division, you're welcome to take our advice as much as you want. And if you are in our division, it may be a little bit of collusion there. So,
but we're going to talk about it. I'm never going to try to steer people the wrong way. We're just like talking about the NFL. We're big fans of the NFL. About this, Andrew, I'll ask you, what's one hot pick for the week? That'll be like our version of a hot take. Maybe a team that not a lot of people are looking at. I'll ask you for a safe bet. And I'm going to ask you, what would Terry do? And you're going to tell me which team you think your dad's going to pick.
Okay.
And we're going to see if we can guess which team Terry is going to pick this week before he even picks it.
So I think a safe pick is the Rams. I think they're at home in prime time. And I think the Andy Dalton-led Chicago Bears won't get it done. I think they drafted the rookie for a reason, and I think they're just kind of waiting to play him and not super confident in Andy Dalton. So I think the Rams is a safe pick. I think a dark horse pick or a bold pick could be the Jaguars, right? They're playing Houston week 1. And then I think Baltimore is a risky pick too. Raiders aren't great. Baltimore is usually pretty good, but they're away on the West Coast on Monday night. So that could go either way. And then what would Terry do? Oh man, going into week 1, I think he's going to see the weak Lions as an easy pushover. And I think he goes San Francisco week 1.
He's going Niners. I'll answer this too. My answers are a little different than yours, so I'll chime in. My hot pick or hot take of the week, Colts have just spewed dysfunction all off season. Not a big fan of picking teams on the road early in the year, especially cross country. I think the Seahawks travel pretty well. I think Russ Wilson is motivated. They're my personal pick to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year, in case anyone cares. So I'd say a hot pick or a hot take is Seahawks over Colts in Indianapolis. Safe pick, like we said earlier, hard to go wrong picking against the Lions or the Texans. Again, you can't do it every week based on who they're playing. Inevitably, they're going to win some games. But Niners over Lions in my book, even though that is a road game, I think that's a pretty safe pick. That Niners team is going to be fired up to prove people wrong and get back to where they feel they belong this year. I think Terry is just going to throw us all for a loop. I think he's going to go Washington football team week 1 because he
Fitzmagic because he loves Fitzmagic. Right.
And he's going to he's going to see that W and just get emboldened by it. I think something's going to stir in his heart, and he's going
love it.
W.
I love it. So there you have it.
We will not call out Terry every week. We're just so
that may not be a segment that sticks, but a weekly segment. It's going to be a random segment. And Terry might be the patriarch of Picks League, I guess is what you'd call him. He will be interviewed at some point. We will get him on here. So there you have it, folks. Rams and 49ers as your safe picks this week, coming to you hot off the press. So.
Beautiful people, top designer clothes, front row fashion shows. What you doing? Who'd you know?
We're gonna start to interview Jordan. Let's bring him in. Jordan,
how you guys doing?
Welcome. So we would like to welcome Jordan, as you all know, the commissioner of the Picks League. What did Joe call him in the trailer? I think it was something along the lines of the Duke of Delight.
The Duke
just
of
bringing
Delight.
in the jester of joy, whatever you want to call him.
I've never been referred to as the Duke of Delight before, nor have I heard anyone referred to as the Duke of. That's a great term, Joe.
Yes, my friend. I would probably never call anyone else that again the rest of my life, because I will be risking potentially jail time.
First things first. Why did you start Picks League? When did you start Picks League? And why is it so fun?
Yeah, great questions. I started it in 2009 and sit down at a diner with a friend who's still in the Picks League, Brad Kunkel, and we're sitting across the table. I think it's close to playoff time in the NFL, and we were saying to each other, so this would have been 2008, I guess, before the first year of it, and just said, man, I wonder if there's a way we could have some sort of competition, picking all the teams in the playoffs, and losers go home, winners go on all the way to the Super Bowl. We're like, well, we need a way to rank those people to know who gets to pick who. And we thought, what if the whole regular season, we just all pick teams every week to win? But I heard of suicide leagues at the time where you kind of pick, and as soon as you lose, you're out of the league for the season.
Yep.
And we're like, well, then that kind of leaves 3 people left in it by week 12, you know?
Yep.
And I like fantasy football, but I wanted to make something where you could have more and more people get involved, and it somehow didn't dilute the competition. As well as, maybe I'm old school in this, but when I watch football game and even the whole NFL, even like the Red Zone channel or something, I still find myself wanting to root for teams over having a fantasy team of, I got the quarterback playing in this game, but I also had the defense playing against him. And there's all this conflicting rooting in your heart as you watch a game or a couple games.
Right. This keeps it one-sided.
So I wanted to root for teams again. That's right.
I like that.
But still have the social competition of people involved like fantasy brings. And so this just evolved out of that, started in 2009.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And how many people roughly, just off the top of your head, that started in 2008 are still in it right now?
Wow. I'm going to say 12, 13, maybe more, maybe half.
So it's a lot of,
yeah,
about 50% of it is kind of new faces here and there. And how many new people do we have this year?
We have four rookies this year.
Okay.
I think off the top of my head, that would be Kurt. He's out in Nebraska. We got 2 guys from Long Island that joined us. Ananias and Brooke is his name. And then the 4th, man, it's slipping my mind right now. I don't know why, but it is. But I think we have 4 newbies. I found in the past years, newbies, like rookies, they do really well. For some reason, they don't overthink it. Like from last year, they kick in real well.
Yeah.
I was terrible when I was a rookie.
I've done better, I think, when I was a rookie than now. I don't know why. I think I overthink everything now. So
speaking of the rookies, what's some advice that you would give, to the rookies, and maybe to someone who's, just looking to turn a corner this year, looking for that magical special season that they haven't had yet?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a great question too. I think an instinct I think rookies have is to always be saving good teams till later, and then who they choose to take a gamble on initially. Remember, there's like 14 teams you never have to pick from beginning to end. So I think that sometimes they'll grasp and reach for a win when really you can go right for more confident teams. You can like discard half the league right away. So just don't save those good teams till last. You might want to make better picks at the beginning. Give yourself some confidence. Go 3-4 now, I
like that. I like that a lot. Plus, you always want to look for that point differential too. So, which is always the hard part, I think, is saving them for a weaker defense where Patrick Mahomes can light it up for 5 touchdowns and then you get the plus 20 points. But if the win matters more sometimes, then obviously the points does. So
Yeah, definitely.
Jordan, shifting gears a little bit here, you are a family man, and we definitely wanted to hear you talk more about, life outside of Picks League a little bit, just, what it's like being a dad. But you know the NFL pretty well, and you know your family pretty well. So I'm going to ask you this. I told everyone before you got, I was going to ask you the hard-hitting questions. So
okay.
Here it is. If you're going to compare your family to one franchise in the NFL, what franchise is your family?
Oh my goodness, man. That question. Wow. All right. The hard-hitting one.
Top of the noggin. What do you got?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to transcribe that into family life. Wow. That, man, probably the Texans. Because I don't know how well they're going to do this year. Maybe that's a good tagline for my family. I don't know how we're going to do. Expansion team. We just we're an expanding fan. I mean, that's no news. We're stuck at 4 kids here, not more. But man, we're the expansion league, just pumping out another player.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I like it. Jordan, if you I know Joe and I talked about this earlier. If you had to pick one quarterback in the NFL and he got to babysit your kids for a night, who would it be?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I think it's Kirk Cousins. Seems like a reliable guy.
You like that?
Yeah. Well, exactly. I feel like I walk in the door and he would say, "You like that?" I'd be like, "Yeah." Also, I feel like Kirk Cousins looks like you, Andrew. There's resemblance.
That I have heard that.
I might not even know the difference. Just
you know what?
Let's get a side by side.
You know what?
Can we get the production team?
Yeah. Okay. Before the end of this NFL season, I will be wearing a Kirk Cousins. Jersey on this podcast. So,
Andrew, I think if your wife Alyssa and Kirk Cousins came in the door together, my kids wouldn't know the difference.
You're darn right. You're darn right. He's that handsome. You're darn right. He's that handsome.
Yeah, you like that?
But Joe, do you have anything else for our lovely guest?
Yeah. I just appreciate if you could join us for a little round of start bench cut. If that's
yes.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. What is
so
you don't know what start bench cut is?
No, I don't.
We'll give you a little preview. So
like rock, paper, scissors. Okay.
Kind of, but you have to pick all 3. So we're going to be doing a segment each week called Start Bench Cut. It's a pretty popular segment on some of the social medias and sports. Yeah. However, ours is going to have a little twist. Since most of our listeners here maybe don't know a lot of names in the NFL, they certainly know the household names of superheroes, Muppets, actresses, singers, Bible characters, farmers. Yeah, I mean, Your favorite fruit and vegetable.
Okay.
So you're on week 1 of the Picks League podcast here. And you're going to be our inaugural member of contestant on Start Bench Cut. Are you ready?
I love it. Go for it.
All right, so just to be clear, you are the coach of this football team.
Mm-hmm.
These 3 individuals or inanimate objects are showing up to try out for your team. You're going to start one, you're going to bench one, and you're going to cut one.
One's getting cut. Gotcha.
All right, let's do it.
Get to the bench. Now cuts like a knife.
All right. Start bench cut. You gonna go first? Or you want me to go first?
How many are we doing each? Just one each?
Yeah, we can do one each.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna start. You have 3 Star Wars characters walking into your huddle or walking into your team meeting, and you have to either start bench cut these players.
Mm-hmm.
They are Darth Vader. We will stick with Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
And Yoda.
Oh, I gotta cut one of those guys.
Yep. Start bench cut. And give us a rationale, of course, too. That's
I mean, I'm benching Vader because you got to keep him around. You can't get rid of Vader because he won't like that. He'll come back and get you. And he turns in the end. He turns good in the end. So you want to keep him for a rainy day.
Late game field goal.
I'm cutting Luke. Luke was George Lucas's first attempt at this new weird film called Star Wars. And so looking back on it, Luke should have been he was a whiny brat. You just cut him. You got to start Yoda.
Yeah, he's drama. Yeah.
Start Yoda. There it is.
Yep.
Where are you starting in week 1? What position? Is he playing both ways?
Yeah.
He's the shiftiest running back in the league. That's what he is.
Or he might be a long snapper. I don't know. Something. But
he might be the football.
Yeah, actually.
All right.
Joe? All right.
Jordan, start, bench, cut. Tony the Tiger, CEO, Frosted Flakes. Toucan Sam, Vice President, Fruit Loops. And Captain Crunch.
Oh, yeah.
Head of Captain Crunch.
Right. Okay. I'm benching Tony the Tiger. His enthusiasm annoys me, so I can't start him. But of the three, I love myself some Frosted Flakes. So I want what he's got for me. I can't put him on the field. He just annoys me. Toucan Sam. I'm starting him. I'm doing it.
Because you're not going to start a 200-year-old serial pirate like that.
No,
that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
A cut for a cut, because
you got to cut him.
Captain Crunch cuts my mouth.
It's not great.
So
it is awful.
He's cut me. I'll cut him. That's how it works. Cut for a cut.
It's like a bowl full of Legos.
Yeah, right. Step on Legos or eat Captain Crunch. It's the same thing.
Put that in the poll. Week 1 poll. Do you like Captain Crunch? I want to know. Does
Crunchberry? Okay, here's an amazing thing. Crunchberry's kind of made up for it, but because they were round, they didn't have edges to cut. I heard there's a cereal out there that is only Crunchberries. It's just the Crunchberries. No, none of the yellow Captain Crunch squares.
That's a game changer. That's a game changer. I think this week's poll might have something to do with cereal. We'll just go with that. But all right, well, I think that wraps up our first week's episode of Start Bench Cut. So thank you for playing, Jordan. It was an honor.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's great stuff. But
before we close off, is there anything you'd like to say to our Picks League as kind of a welcome or an inaugural start to this 14th season, 13th season, something like that?
Yeah, definitely. A big thank you. I have a blast doing it, putting it together, organizing it, kind of keeping it going. And so really, it's just a huge amount of fun for me, enjoyable for me. So thanks to you guys that participate in it. I'm just looking forward to it. Thanks for having me. 32 people in it, man. It's great. And so I hope you guys have a great season, a great time. My dream someday is to kind of centrally locate ourselves somewhere at a Buffalo Wild Wings or something come first weekend of playoffs, and just anyone who wants to get together can. That'd be fun. That's a dream someday. We'll see what happens. But
hopefully this podcast here sheds light on the fact that we want to make this a thing. Yeah. And hopefully that'll come to fruition here maybe this season.
Yeah, it really, as much as it's about football, it's also about competing against people even people you know. It's more the social aspect of it. So thank you guys for being involved. Yeah, good deal.
No problem.
I'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings if you just tell me when.
You and I, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Just tell me when.
All right. Bring some Captain Crunch.
I will.
All right, Jordan. Adios, and we'll see you again. Yep. Take care.
Later. Thanks, guys. Yep.
All right. Bye.
Word from our sponsors.
Yes, of course.
This part of the show, I'm just going to grab a random object off my messy desk. And this week we're sponsored by Thrive, Hermit Crab Soaking Salt for the crab in you. Just take a little out, dip it in, put it under your eyes. It works
and now
great.
You've got crabs.
Cool. And
all right. Well, I think
let us know. Reach out to us if you'd like to jump on and talk with us.
Let's do it.
And we'd just love to get to know all of you a little bit more. And next week, Andrew and I will be sharing a little bit more about ourselves
So we'll tell you a little bit more about what we're up to, what's going on in our lives, and throw some of the hard-hitting questions at each other as well. And we'll also review some of the picks from week 1. Take a look at the standings and bring in some new segments.
Once the picks start rolling in, the standings start jumping around, there's going to be a lot more to talk about. So
yes, if you are still listening to a podcast about picking football teams with a random group of people, I salute you. It's been fun hanging out with you tonight, Andrew.
Yeah. Thank you for making it to the end if you're still listening now. So we appreciate that. So yeah, Mom, I think that concludes episode 1.
Hi, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
But yeah, folks, let's tune in next time for episode 2. And this has been fun. So remember, you can pick your friends and you can pick a team, but you can't pick your friend's team. Happy picking.
Pick it and flick it and do it again. Pick it and flick it and do it again. Pick it and flick it and do it again.